Hey guys, what's up? It's autumn. I hope you all are doing well and welcome back. Hope you all have been good the past week. On this episode, we are going to be discussing when you first started to think that you were gay or a lesbian. For me, the first time I ever started questioning whether or not I was interested in girls or not was back in grade school. I was in first and second grade. Me and my best friend, we were very close, and I had this little sort of crush on her, where I was jealous if she was kind of friends with anyone else or not. I wanted her to be my only friend. I just thought I was really possessive of my friends. I didn't think that I was actually, later in life going to be attracted to women. But looking back on my life, that was probably the first time I had ever had an actual lesbian experience with a woman, as I guess juvenile and cute as it is as a little first grader. You're too young, too innocent to really know at that time, but looking back on it, that's when my feelings towards women started to show. And fast forward a few years, several of my friends I had developed crushes on. I would heavily, favor talking to them over anyone else. I would be very protective of them. I would, you know, like hanging out with them. I just felt good around them. And in my head, growing up in a Catholic environment, just thought that, oh, this was a really great friend. And this is just how great friends feel. They make me feel happy and good and fuzzy inside, type of thing. Little did I know that that was actually me developing a crush on these girls. And I did particularly develop a strong crush on my best friend in eighth grade, who ended up being a straight girl, of course. And I think every lesbian woman will deal with falling for a straight girl at least once in their life, probably more times than that. I know it's happened to me a couple times. But that was officially when I started to question my sexuality. The friend and I ended up having a long falling out, and it wasn't until we were both in college that we started talking to each other again because of how I had acted in eighth grade. I told her I liked her, and of course, she told me she was straight and that that would never happen. And that's gross, and I could never like you. That's not natural. All those, wonderful, fun things that every young adult wants to hear is, oh, what you like is gross and awful and real fun. Great for, you know, my mental health and all that. But eventually I got over it. I went to high school. I had several experiments, I suppose, with friends and, just random acquaintances that were also lesbian women. Um, but unfortunately, the guilt took over me. There was one girl who we were very close friends, and it we had, you know, tried some things. It first started with kissing, and eventually it led to sex and everything. And afterwards, I would be angry and guilty with myself that, oh, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. This isn't right. This is something that I should do with a guy instead, even though none of the guys in my school were appealing at all to me. I tried to date several guys, and it wasn't working. I would always end up breaking up with them. I grew bored very quickly with them, or I would find some reason that we didn't get along, something petty like, oh, you don't talk to me enough, or oh, you talk too much, or you're interested in this and I'm not, and this means we'll never work, blah, 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 something foolish like that. And because of my guilt with this girl, I ended up retaliating in a way that I was irritable and angry with her and hot and cold, and we ended up fighting, and we had a huge falling out for majority of the 4 years I was in high school. And it's unfortunate that it happened that way, and it took us 3 years after we had graduated from high school for us to talk again and, repair that relationship because of how shitty I had been as a potential girlfriend. But I guess that's part of the whole experimenting and learning about yourself process. But now I have come to terms with it, and things are a lot better now. But the best advice that I have to say for anyone is really think critically and explore any feelings you may have. There really isn't a timeline on when you should know or shouldn't know. Honestly, first grade is a very young age to even question this. Some people don't realize or acknowledge these feelings until they're in their 30s or 40s, and if that's you listening to this, by all means, try it out, and if you don't like it, or you realize you're not gay, or if you realize you are, either way, it's perfectly normal. There's no right or wrong way to love. There's no right or wrong way to go about this. As long as you're not hurting anyone, you're fine. And there's no need to rush it. There's no deadline. There's someone for everyone at every age. And don't compare yourself to others. Just try and find support for yourself. There are many like-minded individuals who would be very supportive and very helpful and may even help you talk out your feelings, and they may have advice for you. Friends are a wonderful asset to have because you can bounce ideas and concerns off of them, and they may be able to help rationalize them. It took me a long time to come to terms with my sexuality, and without some of my closest friends, I don't think I would be okay with it to this day. It took a lot of reasoning and rationalizing for me to accept the fact that, yes, I do like women, and yes, it's okay for me to like women, and yes, it's a beautiful thing, and yes, everyone is allowed and has a right to be happy, regardless of if that's with a man or a woman, two men, two women, it doesn't matter. And it's no one's business but my own what I do with my life, and same goes for you. If you're questioning if you've, kissed a girl and you feel like that feels a lot better than kissing a guy, then I definitely think that you should explore that. Go on a date with a girl, ask a girl out, spend some time with a girl. It's the only way you will know for sure. And not exploring that is only hurting yourself because you'll never fully know, you'll never be able to fully understand if you actually are or aren't. And you may be depriving yourself from living that life that you're meant to live. And that's not fair to you. You should not put your life on hold because you feel like you should fit into this mold that you were told to live from a young age, or because society tells you that you should be this way. So don't ever be afraid to explore how you're feeling. If you felt this way for a long time and you thought, oh, I'll just let this go and, maybe in time it'll fade away. Well, I'll tell you from experience, as a first grader, all the way up until my 24 years of age, that feeling has not gone away, and it will never go away because that is who I am. And if that feeling hasn't gone away for you, you're most likely in the same boat. That feeling's not going to go away for you, and there's no sense in putting it off any longer so that you can hurt even longer. I definitely recommend that you go and try that, because if you don't, later on you may regret it in life. It's never too late to start anything, like I said, and you may find yourself in a much, much better situation, a much more wonderful, loving, and caring relationship. Without trying, you'll never really know. So definitely do that. If you have any questions, if you need any advice, shoot me an email, post a comment, let me know. I will try to get back to you if you have a question that is extremely good, or I think will be a good talking point on an episode. I will definitely bring it on the show. Or if you just want to, shoot the shit, vent about a problem, vent about a concern, I am here for you. I'm here to support. I want to create a like-minded community with everyone here. But I will try to keep episodes updated about every week, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on my schedule. But that is all for this episode, and I will see you guys next week.